Good afternoon, attendees of Tourism Australia. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. My name is McGregor, and I'm here today to talk to you about the misrepresentation of Australian teenagers in the media and how it is affecting the tourism industry. Throughout the media, we frequently see misrepresentations of teenagers, often showing them from a negative view. These articles often have misconceptions about teenagers with an emphasis on issues like drugs, alcohol, and violence. These articles also tend to illustrate these teenagers as entitled and lazy, even portraying schoolies as violent, reckless teenagers that are pushing away parents and international students from coming to Australia. This negative reporting impacts the tourism industry. One of the ways that the media misrepresents the teenagers is through the portrayal of them as both entitled and lazy. These two terms tend to dominate our public perception towards teenagers and are reflected in the viewpoints held by our own parents. There have been countless instances in which parents nod their heads adopting this mentality in relation to this issue, in agreement of their shared frustration that their children are unmotivated, unhelpful, and self-absorbed. Our parents seem to believe that we are complete opposite of what they were at their age. In Australia, statistics revealed that 91% of teenage girls and 87% of teenage boys struggle to meet the expected 1 hour of physical activity per day. The concern of this notion is reflected by the viewpoint of Associate Professor Rebecca Braham, a human sciences researcher for the University of Western Australia's Department of Sports Science, who alarmingly states, "The best predictors of levels of physical activity in adulthood is your activity in adolescent years." Another way that the media misrepresents teenagers is the way that they portray schoolies. Schoolies is the Australian tradition of high school graduates having a week-long holidays following the end of their final exams in late November and early December. If you search up schoolies on the internet, you will find an extensive amount of news articles, with most of them having a negative view on schoolies. The first article that comes up is this. This is an article from news.com.au. The title of this article is "Who Isn't on Stuff? Schoolies are drinking less, but they've replaced it with something else," implying that teenagers are moving on from alcohol and moving on to drugs. Right under this is a video titled, "Your teenager should not go to schoolies."
I love Australia. I'd love to say hi to Mum and Dad and my little sister.
This is a biased video where a news reporter deliberately seeking out schoolies that are the most intoxicated and interviews them to try and represent and frame the narrative that all schoolies are like this. The media portrays these teenagers attending schoolies as violent, alcoholic, irresponsible, and reckless. But this misrepresentation that the media has on teenagers during schoolies affects the tourism industry, as families appear afraid to go on holiday where many schoolies go at this time of year, even staying away from the beach, usually a family-friendly location. If you were a parent thinking about moving to Australia or even to go on holiday, and you saw an article like this or this, would you want to go to Australia? It is articles like these that display Australian teenagers as reckless, alcoholic partygoers that are affecting the tourism industry and damaging the economy. People overseas who plan on studying in Australia view these articles and get afraid of what it might be like if they come here. Australia's market share of global international visitors has declined in line with most other developed countries. Australia's tourism share declined from 0.7% in the year ending 2000 to 0.6% in the year ending in 2018. Research commissioned by Tourism Australia suggests that there is a decline in Australia's market share in the tourism industry. The tourism industry is one of Australia's most important industries, and the media's misrepresentation on teenagers is contributing to this decline in the tourism industry. If the media choose to embrace our teenagers rather than misrepresent them, it will support the next generation and our future in both the education and tourism industry. As leading Australian psychologist Caitlin Fitzsimmons once said, "We underestimate our young people because it's convenient. If the media puts in the effort to represent teenagers well, we can rebuild the tourism industry and make it stronger than ever." Thank you for listening.